Welcome back to more Skyrim with Requiem, and it's been quite a while since I've been playing Skyrim actually. I've been playing Path of Exile as my game of choice recently. I played it pretty heavily for the past couple of leagues, but at this point I'm a little burned out on that. I had been kind of planning to wait to come back to Requiem until version 5.0 came out for Special Edition, but that may be a little while, and I just felt like playing something a little bit more low-key because, well, even though the new Path of Exile season is coming up, that is something that can just eat up several hundred hours of your time before you even really realize it, and I'm just not in a spot where I can afford that much gaming time right now, so I just wanted to come back to some kind of relaxing Skyrim gameplay. I'm hoping this character is something I'll be able to do as just kind of a low-key project, doing progressing through a pretty full clear, casual sort of gameplay. What's chasing me? So I'm level 1, playing as a Khajiit. I'll talk a little bit more about the character build in a moment, but I'm a little confused as to what the big upset is. Alright, so it looks like there was a wolf. I'll take a wolf heart. Okay, so my plan for this character is I want to complete basically everything in the game with it. I'm going to join the Imperials.
If you know any true sons and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head to Helm.
Eventually I'm going to join the Imperials and try and complete the Civil War questline with the 3Tweaks mod, which I have going. I've done a previous video and talked about 3Tweaks there, but what I really like about it is it makes the leveling experience a lot more interesting because you actually have to go and complete quests and explore things in order to get potions of insight, which allow you to level up, as opposed to grinding skills, which honestly, after leveling, smithing, and enchanting to 100 in Requiem before, I have no intention of ever doing that again. So 3Tweaks is basically a must for me at this point, and it also has a bunch of neat little effects on the Birthsigns, on the worshipping the divines and stuff, which I think are cool little improvements over Requiem, and I hope many of those get eventually integrated into the main game. So the divine that I am worshipping with this character is Talos, so I will be joining the Stormcloaks eventually just for flavor reasons. It also means that I'm not going to be doing any thieving because Talos does not approve, but joining the Dark Brotherhood is allowed, so I will probably be doing Dark Brotherhood as my other main guild, in addition to the Stormcloak questline, eventually the Dawnguard, playing as kind of, call it, neutral good as my overall character orientation. Not exactly a paladin, but generally not an evildoer either. My main skills for this character, actually the first character I played Requiem with in the last few years was a one-handed light armor character, also a Khajiit. Those videos were back for Skyrim 3.1. They're still on my channel. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I'm basically looking to do kind of the same thing, but slightly refined and with the 3Tweaks mod enhanced, so I think that will make the experience kind of fresh and interesting, but that was also an extremely powerful character, without being totally ridiculous and bonkers like it gets to be if you do it as a mage. But basically this is going to be a light armor character that does not do any sneak. So it's a combat focused. I don't have a shield yet, but eventually it's going to be shield and axe. I like axes because they have a pretty good balance between speed and damage, and they still get some pretty good armor piercing. So I think that will be powerful enough to kill stuff with. I'm going to try and get myself a Dawnguard war axe as quickly as I possibly can, because those are really good against undead. And while I'm using a crossbow right now, I don't really plan to invest heavily into archery. It's just kind of really convenient early on. I think later on my ranged attacks are going to be taken care of by shouts. That's my plan. And I'll use archery early on in the form of a crossbow to help out, and just get through the early game. And I am playing this character as not full Dead is Dead, because I just don't have enough time to go back and do a full restart, but as kind of a compromise, because I did want to make it a little bit more interesting than just you know, you can zerg yourself in and try and take down stuff with a million tries. I think that gets kind of boring if you allow yourself to do that, just because the sense of tension in the game is gone. So dead is dead is cool, but I don't have time to do restarts. So instead, as kind of a compromise, I'm gonna call it dead is almost dead or something like that. And if I die in an area, it means that I have to leave that area and I cannot come back for some significant amount of time. And I'm not going to be abusing quick saves, and I'm going to keep track of how many deaths that I take. So as I do videos updating this, there will be a running death counter to show how many times that I've been killed, and I expect there'll be some person in the comments who will happily make fun of me if I am getting killed a lot, and that's kind of the idea. So that's my plan for the character, and right now, as you might imagine, level 1, not really in a position to fight much of anything successfully, so I'm running away from this bear, and I just want to find some easy potions of insight. And looks like the bear is not following me too closely, so I'm fine. So what I'm going to do now is just walk up to High Hrothgar. I don't have a quest up there yet, but what it does do is I think I can complete a quest for Klimek and get something out of that. I'm not sure what it was that I aggroed over there, but I'm just going to kind of hope they forget about me.
When I find you, no sign of him.
Need a ride? On your way up the 7,000 steps again, Klimek?
Passing mostly the graybeards tend not to. Well, the trouble is, my leg. Really? Here, take this bag of. Not today.
Okay, so now I've got the supplies. The question is, do I feel bold enough to try and clear one of these side caves in hopes of getting a potion of insight there too? Maybe? Maybe I can draw these guys back to the guards. Because if an extra potion of insight sure would be nice.
Is someone
there.
And Klimek is still alive, so alright, we're good. Let's see, if I'm really clever, can I... No, there's no terrain in here that's going to let me beat the bear, so let's just... I want to have a little more space. And take advantage of the Khajiit movement speed. Let's get this bear back into town. Oh no.
Stop right there.
Alright, I guess I'll go to jail.
You're smarter than you look. You have committed crimes against Skyrim and Earth. I guess you're smarter than you look.
And what do we get for our troubles? Heavy armor forging, so nice. Get a free perk into smithing, and a lock, which... maybe with Khajiit ability I can get in. One lockpick left, one potion of insight, and awesome. My plan now is to travel along this southern border of of the rift and see what else I can find kind of along here, while hopefully not really getting into any fights. That's the goal. Let's see if we can pull that off. I made a little detour over to Nilheim so that I could find a little bit better gear, and I got myself this steel war axe, and I think we've got a couple of guys here who are looking for trouble. I want to make sure I don't get blindsided by something coming up along the side. And they seem to have been scared off by my extremely intimidating wooden crossbow.
You won't live to see tomorrow.
Yikes, that's not the odds I was looking for. And my stamina is in poor shape, so let's take some potions. One notable mod that I am not running is mortal enemies. So it means that these guys are quite a bit more effective at actually hitting me. It's a lot harder to duck and dodge out of the way. See, she doesn't have anything useful. This guy has gotten sidetracked by an elk. And I'm just not on my game as far as the spacing on these goes. That was a little bit of a close one. I've gotten a little bit off my route because I had been planning to go down here and then I detoured up to Nilheim, and I was considering whether I'd want to just cut straight toward Windhelm, but I think instead I'm just going to continue on the path I had planned already and go toward Riften instead, both because, well, I think there's a few things along the edge of this coast that I definitely want to find. The enemies along the path toward Windhelm are definitely going to be even more out of my reach than the stuff I might run into here, so I'm just going to play it a little bit safer. I think that's probably the smart thing to do. And I cleared out this area. I really thought there would be a chest or something, but there it is. And there's my potion of insight. Okay. I knew there was one there. I knew it. So fighting those treasure hunters was not a complete waste of time. That's a relief. So this character, I'm not going to do any alchemy whatsoever. I've played a lot of Skyrim. I'm just not excited about alchemy, and so I'm going to skip that. Instead, I do intend to do some smithing, but because it's on 3Tweaks, I don't really have to be gathering materials, though, I mean, it doesn't hurt to pick them up where I can, and I'll stash them somewhere until I have it. It's just another one less thing to have to try and pick up. I think it improves the pace of play a lot when you're not having to scrounge for ingredients all the time, which is something I really appreciate about the 3Tweaks mod. So right now I'm just kind of trying to make my way along the edge here, and I can hear wolves, but I can't really see where they are. I'd really like to build.
Those who shirk their duties will get an extra.
In Riften, I picked up this bandit bounty quest because I really just want to gain a level before I continue on to the next zone, and I haven't been very lucky in finding potions so far, and I'm hopeful that as a result of finishing this quest I will be able to get one. And it looks like I've aggroed some enemies. I'm just going to hope that there's a guard over by this windmill who will back me up a little bit.
Get away!
seem like not a guard. Alright, one down. And this guy, yeah, nothing really useful to me. Gosh, that just uses up my stamina so fast. I really need to level up. I'm just going to wait here for a second while that recovers. And I've been getting a lot of paralyzes off of my crossbow because I had the I stuck the venom of a spider that I got in Helgen onto that, and it's just been knocking out guys left and right. It's been really great. I don't know how many more applications of that I have, but that's what decided that fight so easily. Okay, I heard arrows hitting something, which means I need to back up. I'm going to run into the zigzag for a second until I've got some space to work with. Okay, I'm out of stamina. And maybe I've got a potion. Oh god. Okay, this is getting a little out of hand. Okay, looks like the guard handled that bear pretty easily. And yeah, another bandit down. And I don't think I really care about cheese. What I really need is some food that will help me restore stamina really quick, because I just keep running out of that. And it looks like that quest marker is the bandit boss that I need to kill. I don't know, is that an archer? No, it's just a guy who's stuck in a tree. Okay, skilled bracers, that's a gear upgrade. Elven boots is a gear upgrade. Alright, this one is mage. And I just don't really seem to do any damage to mages through these wards. But he got paralyzed. 2 staffs of fire sparks. Alright. 3 potions of insight. Awesome. After turning in that quest, I just decided to run it back and do another bandit quest in the Reach manageable, and I've been assigned this other bandit camp here, Riverside camp. And I'm looking for an area I can retreat back to. I don't know if they'll follow me back across the river or not, because I don't really want to just wander over there and pick a fight. I don't think that will go well for me. But let's give it a try. Okay, I can see one crossbow guy over there, which is very, very bad. But maybe if I hide behind this rock here, I can buy myself a little bit of time. And one of the perks is I now have mage armor. I was really hoping that that shot in the back would be enough to end the fight, but it was not. Okay, 2 of them is more than I can really handle, so I'm going to back up here. And maybe it's time to put my wooden staff of fire sparks to work. Okay, so there's the crossbow guy over there, which I just need to back up, get my stamina recharged. Because I've got them stuck over there, and then here's the crossbow guy. Maybe I can get him with my own crossbow. Okay, so he no longer has a crossbow. That makes my odds quite a bit better. Now I can just toast these guys with my staff, maybe? Whew. Okay, better weapon than the one I'm using. Okay, better weapon than the one I'm using. So that's a win. And I think I've got another possible trick up my sleeve, which is the Staff of Frost Rune. Which I picked up off of one of the dragon areas earlier. Oh my god, I've got no ammo. Little more ammo. Just need to not let this guy hit me. I could hear him starting to reload. Got him. Bestial stew later. Let's see if there's anything in the chest. And 3 more potion of insight. Awesome. And just one more bandit quest before moving on out of Riften. I'm going for this location over here at Broken Helm Hollow. So right around the backside of this mountain here. Seems like my crossbow just bugged. Two archers. That guy, I'm just going to wait a second while my stamina recovers. He's moving, she's moving pretty fast. Probably implies a decent amount of archery skill. But distance is closed, the fight is over. Just gonna give myself a second to recharge and then in we go. I don't really have any ability in sneak with this character, but maybe it's still enough for me to get a cheap shot in. I think there's a couple of sleeping guys over here. If there's any chance at all I could get around and actually get a full sneak attack in on them. Pretty low chance, probably. Yeah. Okay, that's about all the free hits I'm gonna get. I think that means I need to run myself outside. And that does mean that I get cheap shotted a couple of times on the way out, but now I've got a little bit of room to maneuver in. Wow, I did not see that guy off to the side of me.
Victory or Stormcloaks!
These dudes are pretty fast. Let's see if I can set a trap for them. Okay, set it somewhere over here. Ooh. That was a little close. I took a hit in the process of getting that guy. Let's loot him real quick. I don't think I really want skooma. And now I just need to go back and loot that area. Now let's go see if there's anything inside of Broken Helm Hollow. And what do we find? We find a lock that we can't open. Maybe if I take down this potion of fortified lockpicking. Alright, 2 more potions of insight, a healing poultice, and amulet of Debella. Sure. Better than the no amulet that I have now. And let's just take those down and let's learn some new skills. So I'm still just dumping everything into Alteration. I really want to get that higher. Okay, now I've got that over 25, so I can invest a little bit more into one-handed. So let's take a level up. And I'm going to put it to Magic, and then take a second perk over in Alteration, because I really want to have access to opening these locks. So now I get to take Knock, which is awesome, and I think I probably want Transmute Muscles, I suppose. So that will make it so I am not as likely to run into chests with rewards that I'm unable to open. So big step forward for character progress. Having finished up those variety of little quests, my plan now is just to walk myself over to Riverside. I'm going to pick up the ore sample and then take the cart all the way up to Windhelm so that I can get started on the Dark Brotherhood quest. Then that gear will be a nice set of upgrades, and that's about it. The character is progressing pretty smoothly. I had a little bit of a hard time early on when my gear was still extremely poor, but now that I've got Alteration up to 25 and I've got the knock spell, I can open novice level locks. Once I get one more level up, I'm going to take empowered alterations as my perk, and then I'll be able to open up to apprentice locks. So I think that'll help a bit with being able to continue progressing, because then I'm less likely to run into chests where there are potions of insight that I can't open. So this is kind of the lead up to the character actually becoming functional, because I'm having to take stuff that are outside of my core, be able to keep leveling up. But that's just kind of the nature of things. Requiem is a little bit metagamey in its own way, because you have to go and do a bunch of crafting at the start. 3Tweaks, I think, is a tiny bit metagamey, because you need to either get your lockpicking or your alteration at the start, and I chose alteration just because that's going to be extremely useful later on. I mean, there's just a ton of really powerful to get to higher level. So that's the plan. I hope you're enjoying this revisiting of Skyrim with Requiem, and hit subscribe. I'm hoping to continue this series, and I really enjoyed this style of character, so I think it could continue for a good long while, and I'll see you in the next video.
Sent them a letter weeks ago. That Elgrim.